Hi everybody, it's Diva Carla. Good afternoon. It is just afternoon here in Maine, and we are having a beautiful foggy day where the snow is melting. Probably not safe to walk on the ice on the pond anymore. So I'm going to give people a moment to find me and to come on, and then I'm going to chat with you about sex and sovereignty and leadership and some of the things that are on my mind today. One thing I want to do is to share this video with some groups in my page, which means going to my computer and disappearing from the screen here for a minute. So let me see if I can reach this with my headphones on. Be right back. Let's find. Okay, I'm doing some sharing, so just give me a minute. There it is. All right, hello. Hi, Deva, good to see you. I just shared to the Womb Wisdom Portal group and to my profile. This is learning new things about the technology. I didn't even know I could do that. So, here we are on a Saturday afternoon. And I feel like I want to summarize sex and sovereignty. It has been an extraordinary masterclass series. I started it just following divine inspiration. And I didn't know where it would take me, and I still don't. Although this morning, in my morning meditation, the gateway to our last content on next Wednesday, the 17th, opened up. And I said, oh, that's what we're talking about. Yippee. So I'm going to grab some notes here, which I may or may not consult. So to recap what people are getting from sex and sovereignty, this is a 4-part masterclass series. It is my gift to my community, and it is about dismantling your inner patriarchy. And I didn't even know what that meant for sure. It's a great phrase, isn't it? Dismantle your inner patriarchy. What it means, first of all, is be aware of where you are carrying this poison inside of you because you were raised with it. And that is not because you're a bad person. It just means we do not know how we are running the energy that we don't know how the patriarchy has compressed itself into our cells, how it has come forward in our DNA. We don't know that until we start examining it. And sex and sovereignty, that is what we've been doing. We have been examining these places inside ourselves. And it's been an adventure. I've loved it. And I really appreciate the people who've come on the journey with me so far. And it's not too late. You can still become a part of this. So let's recap. The very first week, we looked at how our own patriarchy and misogyny starts inside of us. And we looked at sovereignty. What does it mean? It means self-ownership. It has a personal level and a more universal level, as everything does. It means having control over your own life and body, having choices, being able to make your own decisions and take responsibility for your own life. That is something that we're actually born with. No one can take it away, even though they can squeeze it and suppress it until we no longer believe we have that power. And that's the work that we're doing right now. It also has a broader, more general meaning, which is that the feminine is a moral authority upon the planet. We are moral and spiritual authority upon the planet because we are connected. We are connected to the earth. Through line, the womb, the yoni, our roots, connected to the center of the earth. Some people talk about getting downloads from spirit. I realized a long time ago that I'm getting uploads from the earth, at least as often, if not 99% of the time. We are also the creative and regenerative feminine principle. We are fertility itself in partnership with the sacred masculine, the masculine that has found himself within and is breaking free of the patriarchal cage and conditioning. So this is what sovereignty means. It's a hologram. It's holistic. We step into it and suddenly possibilities emerge. And that's what this is all about. That's what I'm all about. That's what I'm doing in my life. And it's not always pretty to get there, to go there. It's taken me 64 years to really begin to embody this truth. And I hope it doesn't take you that long. And that's one of the reasons that I'm here doing this work. Then the second class, we learned about money, because money and sex and women is a big issue. It just comes up in the conversation. And part of that is because money is one of the tools, one of the weapons that patriarchy has used against against people. And that is a jewel that we can reclaim. And so the main theme of Sex and Sovereignty, part 2, about women and money, is about reframing this whole experience of money. Are we going to redefine money? Are we going to understand how we can work with money? How do we think about money, and how do we think about ourselves? We have choices about that. We have power over that. Money is an idea. And we get to hold the idea that serves us. We get to create it. And what's really powerful is when we can create it together and get a collective new idea about what money means and how we're going to use it and what we're going to think about it and how it's going to show up in our lives. That's the power that we have. So we just got started on that in part 2 with money, and it's really important. So get into the masterclass and go listen to that one. And then part 3, we looked at leadership, power and leadership, leadership and power. And that was also a matter of redefining it. It turned into an extremely lively conversation about women, power, and leadership. And again, it just scratched the surface, but it got us started asking questions. What are we afraid of? What are our default thoughts that have us stepping back and saying, this is not for me? I don't match this idea that I have about power and leadership, because that was the first thing that came up. You know, it's women are not a fit. I personally, as a woman, every single one of us agreed that we didn't match this idea. And then it took us about 5 minutes to realize our idea was not accurate. It was planted inside of us and had nothing to do with the truth and the truth of feminine power. And so we began to unpack that and explore it and see what we could learn. And I think we're all still thinking about it. We're certainly still talking about it in the Womb Wisdom Portal. It's so one of the things that we learned, our whole purpose was defining power and leadership in a way that is genuine and aligned for women. And one thing we know is we don't do power over. We utterly reject that. We do power with. And we also make magic with our power. So, yes, go and listen to part 3. And then what is coming up is sex. Sex and the womb. And that is really stepping into the mystery. Hi, Teresa. Hi, Heather. Good to see you. So coming up on Wednesday, the 17th, it's sex and the womb. And I don't know exactly what's going on because it hasn't all come through yet. And of course, we will co-create it in the moment, whoever is there on the call. But we are stepping into the mystery. That's all I can say. Being able to walk in the mystery and live in the mystery is necessary for us to make the changes that we want to make in our lives and in the society. It's our secret weapon. I'm excited about this and very eager to get myself into the silence and let this come through. Meanwhile, let's keep talking. I just want you to know you have a role to play in all of this. And that's what I want to talk about now. I posted this last week, and I think it's worth unpacking. The same inner force that has kept you in chains will make you an inspiring leader and teacher as you continue the path of healing and initiation. This is universal. I have been in a container of initiation for 20 years. And I was for 12 years, I was with my first priestess. And then it was time for me to move on, and so I did. And I was in a container of life. I continued to work with my Native American teacher and to work in ceremony and to work in my community. And I was holding containers of initiation for other women and groups. And then 2 years ago, I went through a container of initiation, life, a relationship, selling my home, moving house, making lots of changes in my earth walk, my 3D world. And I stepped into Priestess Path, which was a container of initiation, 2 years. I'm on the verge of completing that. I did a completely different kind of experience. Yeah. And it's not over yet, and I do not know where it will take me. I have been for several years in this self-initiation with the cosmic Crone. And I have a clue of where she may direct me in terms of getting support and learning more and working in collaboration with others. And I also know she is holding through me, as me, a container of initiation for women to step into. And that is an evolving story. And it is also instantly and immediately available to you today. And I'll tell you more about that. But I want to, for people who may be sitting back, holding back and saying, I want to be a leader. I know I have gifts. I'm not crazy about my life right now. Maybe I even hate my life. Maybe I'm even going nuts because I keep repeating the same patterns and I can't get out of my own fucking way. We all have that going on. It's part of our path. It's part of this sacred walk that we do on the planet. And if you're feeling stuck and trapped there, and you know you're called to lead women, you know you have something to share and to teach, you may even be called to lead women and men, and that may be as a spiritual leader, it may be as a political leader, it may be in your community, it may be as a teacher, it may be whatever. What is your gift? And what is your struggle? That's where you're called to lead. And that is where people will come to you. And they will say, help me with this. Because behind the shadow is the light. Behind the wound is the gift. Behind the fear is the gold. And you have to walk through this and walk through this suffering in order to completely possess your power. Sovereignty is a path of change and transformation, healing, letting go, letting die, and birthing. And if you have any delusions that that is easy, or a path of unicorn farts and rainbows and glitter, then you have another thing coming. You've been barking up the wrong tree, as my people would say. And oh my God, didn't I want the unicorn farts and glitter? Solve my problem, please. What that comes to is fear. How many decisions have you made that were motivated by fear? Fear of losing, fear of missing out, fear of not trusting yourself, of fucking up again, of never becoming who you know you are inside. I would say until 2 years ago. I don't know what happened. Well, I healed some big shit. That's what happened. I took some steps and finally got to some roots. And I stepped into those healing containers in abject fear. Fear drove me. For 18 years, fear drove me into my healing containers with healers and coaches, drove me to make decisions that some of them I would take back if I could, and yet I simply am at a place of learning to bless them because they were evidence of how much fear I was carrying. And so that's important to know. Without that awareness, how can I begin to say, fear, my old friend, you've come to point the way again. You've come to show me that I'm on the right path. And you've come to show me that you're going to sit down and take a nap in the back seat now because courage and determination and commitment and the goddamn goddess is driving this train. Oh, it's a revelation when you can, that thing, feel the fear and do it anyway. That's what it is. And it's not a unicorn fart tagline. It is womb power, feminine power saying, I don't know how many people listening have ever given birth. But we have all given birth, and we all were birthed. So those moments before we opened our lungs to the air and we said, it is time to take that journey. That was courage. And we didn't know. Fear did not exist for us. And then X years later, we find ourselves holding the container for a new human to take that journey. And fear might be everywhere. We are completely embraced and taken over by this will to live of this other being. Well, we as women, we do that all the time. Every decision we make that has the power to change our lives, everything that we approach with consciousness has that element of, the old me, the me that is not a mother, is dying, and the me that is a mother is being born. The me that thinks I am too small, too broken, not important enough to have an impact, is dying, and the me that is goddess embodied and a leader among women and among men, the one who has something to say and something to teach and something to give and deserves to receive in commensurate to that gift, all of the currencies, attention, a stage, a platform, money, love, enough. We all go through these shifts over and over and over again. What is ready to die, the old me, the old crap, falls away. With all of the emotions and challenge and fear and, one finger at a time, letting go. If it were only so easy as just throwing it into the fire. Ultimately it is. And we have to walk through the resistance sometimes to get to that. And then realizing that, I'm already here. The one with the gift, the one with a voice, the one with something to share, the one who deserves love, compensation, attention, freedom, joy, peace, acknowledgement, respect, self-respect, self-love. The one who deserves is already here. So this is the path. None of this is on the script. This is my journey. This is what I am doing every day when I wake up. And it's what you're doing too. And so this is what is true. This is what is true for you. The inner force that has kept you in chains, that is ready to die, that has kept you being safe, that has kept you following rules that you didn't even know you wrote or were written for you. It will make you an inspiring leader and teacher as you continue the path of healing and initiation. And it is true that you have a role to play in this planetary healing journey that we're all on. And you get to decide what that role is. A big role, a smaller role, a supporting role, an in the spotlight type of role. So I'm talking to you. And if you're feeling scared or not sure of your gifts or not sure if you have something to offer or not sure how you'll make a living, if you leave your current life and step forward, you've got lots of reasons why you shouldn't do it. And you have thousands of reasons or even one bigger reason why you need to say yes to your leadership, you're healing, letting die what's ready to die, giving birth to what's ready to live. That thing you keep doing, that pattern, that damn mistake you make over and over, we all do it. You are not alone. And that hurt that you are afraid you will never, ever heal. I know that. I know that. And every day I wake up to heal it more. Every step I take is to heal it more. And I do not do it alone, and neither do you. In our collective ancestral times, and still in some indigenous communities around the world, it was part of growing up that there would be initiation, many initiations throughout your life to say, time to let die. It's time for the child to die and the adult to be born. It is time for a trial, a challenge, a test, to let your gifts emerge so that you will know why you are here. Why were you born into this community? And very likely the elders knew before you were born, but they also know that you have to discover this journey for yourself, that they can't just tell you. You are healer, you are shaman, you are woodworker, you are food grower, you are a hunter. No, you have to find out for yourself. What is your gift? Why are you here? And we still need it. In fact, we need it more than ever in this death-dealing patriarchal world that we are now living in. And so we create these initiations. Yes, there are self-initiations. Life will initiate you. And it works better when you are in a container and guided. Why? Because that thing you keep doing, that mistake you keep making, that hole you keep falling down, that is life initiating you. And we cannot always break that pattern on our own. In fact, we very often don't. We often take up coping mechanisms, addictions, numbing agents, or we give up, or we die, or we get sick, or something happens. The initiation just takes us further down because we need the wise ones. We need the elders. And it can be something very, very difficult to connect from that place and say, help me, initiate me, show me the way out of this trap that I am living. And very often, even when we do, Divine will send us a person or a group. Send us a sign to step onto a different path. One where the trap, the hole is different, where we approach it with new skills and new awareness. So I invite you to take that step right now. I invite you, if you are hearing my words and you feel life stirring in you at the idea that you too could have initiation and shorten the journey, have someone standing with you as you face these challenges over and over again and overcome and grow and step into your power, discover your gifts, and become who you came to this planet to be this time around. I offer that. I offer that to you. This is for women. It is womb wisdom initiation. We start with the breakthrough that unhooks the ancestral and past life, however you see it, that hook, that seed, that wound that you came here to heal for yourself and your lineage. I have ways to help you unhook that. And so we do that work, and it's big and it's deep. And then we shift, because the real fun starts after you unhook it. You walk and you live and you learn how to be this new person. It's kind of like being a baby again. You are reborn. And how do you learn to walk as this new being, unhooked from those old patterns? And that is womb wisdom. We tap into your divine feminine power. We heal around sexuality because that is your inner power source. And if you are harboring any wounds or shame around sexuality, your strength and your power are not available to you. You need to be able to walk with that pleasure and orgasm as oracle and energy and inspiration and medicine. That's the work we do together in a nutshell. We work together privately, one-on-one, for about 4 months. And this is the first step to what is a 13-month cosmic Crone initiation, which you may or may not be called to. It starts somewhere. Now, do you need me? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe you do. You are here now. You are hearing my voice. You have stayed here long enough to hear this. That is an indicator that I may very well be the mentor for your initiation. Here's what we do. We find out. I'm going to put a link in the comments to an application that will help you get clear on what's going on. What is that pattern that you can't seem to break? What is it that you really want, and what's getting in the way? So you get clear about that. You send that to me. I say, yeah, this looks good. We can do this. Or maybe not. And then we get on the phone and we talk. And we come to a mutual decision. Is this the right time? Is this the right place? Am I the right person? Are you ready for this step now? Or is there something better, something different that will work for you now, with me or with someone else? I have no problem referring if someone else is where you need to be. Let's find out, because the truth is, if you are, I work with women 40s, 50s, 60s. If you've been on the planet that long and you are waking up to this desire, this knowing around leadership, and this frustration that you don't think it will ever happen, then it's pretty clear you can't do it alone. And that is not a fault, because we were never meant to do it alone. So check out the comments. As soon as we're done here, I'm going to put up the link. It'll take me a minute. And the other thing you can do is just go right now to your email, Carla at cosmiccrone.com, and say, yes, I want to talk to you. And you can also send me a private message on Facebook. So whatever way works, get in touch and say, tell me more. I'm ready for this deep dive. I am ready to become the leader and the goddess on this earth that I'm meant to be. I am ready to reveal my gifts. And I am fucking ready to get out of this pattern. Yes, anger at feeling stuck, at feeling a bit hopeless and helpless can be a motivator, whatever it takes to get you moving. I've been everywhere. And we will also, fear may get you moving. It's not a bad thing. Fear will not make your decision. That is my commitment to you. Truth will make your decision, will make our decision about whether we are working together. This is too sacred to let fear run the show. That's what I have for you today. It is my joy to be with you, as always. And I look forward to hearing from you. Talk to you again soon.